Welcome to Just Minding My Business Radio, where we are moving at the speed of God, learning what we didn't know we didn't know. I'm your host, Ida Crawford, so grab a pen and paper and get ready for information that you can use.
Welcome to JMMB Radio, known as Just Minding My Business. I'm your host, Ida Crawford.
And I'm your co-host, Ruth Haskins.
I hope you are enjoying your day. One of the things that most people should understand that your health is your wealth. There's nothing you can do when you are sick. Coming to the mic is Quay Lee Howland, who is a rebalance strategist, integrative nutrition health coach, fitness and lifestyle expert. This international personal trainer followed her passion for helping clients commit to be fit and healthy and to a multifaceted business, helping hundreds of women, especially professional women, create optimal wealth by helping them transform in all areas of their life. She mentors women to elevate their wealth without sacrificing their health, happiness, and authentic self. Her motto is commit to be fit, your mind, your body, your life. Well, welcome, Quay, to the show. I can't wait to hear how this journey got started.
Thank you for having me on this show tonight. It's nice to thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, indeed. So, how did all this get started?
Well, I've been health and wellness has been a part of my life since I was young. Most of my family is in the health profession, and I really got started in the fitness arena at a young age. I don't know if people remember the gym that was called back in the day Holiday Spa, and my parents used to take me all the time. So fitness has been a big part of my life. And as I grew up enjoying fitness, and then it evolved into me becoming a certified personal trainer living abroad, and it really became a passion of mine, and I also saw how the wellness piece was very important. So then I started delving more into that arena, and it wasn't until it became a personal part of my life when, being a professional woman that I am at the time, being an executive, that due to stress and different things going on in my life, that I encountered an autoimmune disorder called Candida. And Candida is, like I said, an autoimmune disorder, and it can be brought on by a host of different things. So that's what triggered me to become an integrative nutrition health coach, and also look at different things into helping myself as well as my clients.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the how do you pronounce it again? I want to make sure I say it right.
Candida.
Oh, okay. Now, I know you said it could be caused from a host of things.
Mm-hmm.
In your situation, what was your cause?
My cause was due to stress. And Candida is the technical word for it, but so people understand it better. In layman's terms, it's a yeast imbalance. So we all have yeast in our system, and the primary purpose for the yeast in our system is to decompose our body when we die. So if you don't do the right things, your yeast can become off kilter, which then it will take over your good bacteria. And then with that, you can start having different symptoms, such as, for me, The stress is what triggered it, which then gave me yeast infections. So I had continuous yeast infections each month. And a lot of people, what is so funny, they think, when they hear yeast imbalance, that's the first thing that they go to. But there's so many symptoms when you have a yeast imbalance. You have brain fog, which is like mental clarity. If you just feel like you just can't get it together, that's considered brain fog. Cravings, migraines, weight gain. And it just doesn't happen with women. It's also in men, with you can have, for men, jock itch. Babies have thrush or diaper rash. All of those are forms of a yeast imbalance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. When you say a yeast imbalance, the first thing that came to my mind was yeast infection.
Right.
But that's just one.
That's just one. Yes, that's just one. Because yeast, it loves to be in warm, moist areas. So if you think about your body, most of our body is in warm, moist areas. So it could be in your reproductive system. It can be in your throat. It can be in your ears. It could be in your gut, which that's where you will find most of your yeast because that's your inner ecosystem. So, that's where all your bacteria and everything live. So yeast can be anywhere in your body.
Mm-hmm. That's really interesting.
And think of this analogy, like how we put yeast in bread and how it blows up.
Yes.
Think of your body the same way. When you have an overgrowth of yeast, that's how you have your weight gain.
Oh, okay.
Is there
very, very
any way
interesting.
is there any way that you may not be feeling well and you've heard of Candida, is there any way that you can tell on your own whether you have a Candida situation developing?
Well, the first thing is what I try to tell a lot of my clients, you have to be really in tune with your body. You have to really be mindful of what you're doing, like far as food, because that can be one of the triggers. So one of my talks that I do is no one size fits all. So the things that I eat, you cannot eat. Because it could throw, you could, have allergic reaction or something like that. So you have to be mindful of what you eat. And so you can tell if you're gaining weight pretty quickly, that can be a sign. So that was one of the things for me. Being a personal trainer, I was teaching 9 classes a week. And you couldn't tell that I had gained weight. And the only reason why I knew I had gained weight was because I was doing my body fat. I was doing my body fat measurements, and my body fat was increasing. And I was like, how can this be when I'm teaching all these classes? So I didn't look obese. I didn't look heavy, but I knew something was going on with my body. And then also I was having a yeast infection every single month. So, and that's uncommon when you're, doing and living you feel the right way. So that's the first thing I would tell someone. They need to really look at what they're doing and what may have changed in their life that may be causing, like I said, if they're having rashes or migraines or, lots of cravings. All of that is a sign that you're having a yeast imbalance. And I call them the gremlins because Candida is an opportunistic fungus bacteria. So it loves to feed off of what you're going to put in your system.
Uh-huh. Well, in that case, is Candida, what relationship do sugars have to Candida, if there is one?
That is one of the biggest triggers, is sugar. So for me, I do an assessment with my clients, and it's a series of questions, and it's accurate. It's a paper assessment. There's other things you can do to find out your levels of yeast and things like that. But it's a series of questions of asking about your medical history, about the way you eat, your lifestyle. And sugar is one of the first things that if I see through the assessment that I will start getting my clients off of, because sugar is more addicting than cocaine, and Candida loves sugar. And a lot of people say that they're not eating a lot of sugar, but if you're not reading the labels, there are over 50 different names for sugar. So if you don't know the different names, then, you think you're not eating sugar, but you are, because they're hidden sugars.
Yes.
So like I tell my clients when they're reading the label, if the ingredient list is very long, that you want to try to stay to a short list where you're getting good, natural, ingredients.
Okay. Along with sugar, I have another question. Where do flowers go in? Add into Candida? Flowers.
Well, you should get. As far as flour, you should be getting the more the more like whole grain. I want to think of the name brand. I think it's Red Mill. I think that's the one that I use, because then it's more organic.
Okay.
So you want to watch your flour. Definitely watch your sugars.
What about dairy?
Also, dairy.
What about dairy?
Dairy. As far as dairy, you should be watching dairy as far as the antibiotics, the GMOs, the pesticides. I truly believe that's why a lot of our young girls are developing faster, because of digesting milk that has all the GMOs and pesticides in them. So I always recommend, like I have a 15-year-old daughter, she drinks almond milk, and or she'll do coconut milk or rice milk, something that it does not have those different things in it that can cause, because then you're looking at hormonal imbalances. So you're looking at another thing, especially with young girls growing.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
There's so
I was going to say, and
go
also
ahead.
for us with women, we got to look at our estrogen, and different hormones for ourselves.
Okay.
So, what do you believe people need to do to live a healthier lifestyle?
I believe that people need to be mindful of their lifestyle, and they need to take accountability for their own health care. Ask questions, like just don't leave it up to the doctor. Ask questions, research, ask for a second opinion, and just really look at what serves your body, because lifestyle plays an important part of being healthy. You can eat well, but if you're doing things as far as lifestyle, when I say lifestyle, that's why helping a lot of professional women, their lifestyle starts to deteriorate their health, because you figure with high stressful jobs, you're out there, making the money, you're in executive, position, C-suite women. You have a lot of stress, long hours, don't have much work-life balance. So lifestyle is really important to really watch and try to keep things in harmony, so you can have more balance and happiness and sustainability.
Mm-hmm. So where can one begin to start to make those changes? Because it's one thing to say this is what we need to do, but how do we start?
So one thing you can do to start is just write down what commitments. Now, the new year is coming in, and we always, people are always with for New Year's resolutions, and this is what I want to do. But what we have found, research has found that 70% of the people, what they say they're going to do in January, they're not doing it by the 1st of March. So you have to think of doing things and chunking it down into small steps. So, for instance, if you want to stop eating sugar, it's very hard. I found it, for most of my clients, it's very hard to just go cold turkey. It's very few that can do that. So what I will have them do is like their favorite thing, like chocolate, maybe chocolate chip cookies or whatever. Instead of having, 2 or 3 every day, let's start backing off. And, I wean them off them. So let's go, let's do 1 a day. And then they start backing off from, instead of 7 days, then we're doing 1 every 4 days. It's a process, and you have to be patient with yourself. Like I tell them, you didn't gain the weight, overnight, so you cannot expect for it to go away overnight. So making small changes, writing down your goals, doing SMART goals, being, specific what you want to do. Make it measurable, make it attainable, make it realistic, and put a time on it. So doing SMART goals and then having someone to keep you accountable, and that's where I come in because of all my clients, when they go on my programs, I have them come up with, a mantra. Okay, what if you're starting to feel like you can't do this or do that, what are you going to keep in your head to keep you to stay on track? And then I have, calls set in for them. So I think if you just do some SMART goals, write them down, stay committed, and chunk them down and take it one step at a time, it starts to get easier because, as you know, 21 days you can build a habit, and after 90 days it will become a lifestyle.
Absolutely. And that's probably with anything that you're trying to make a change with. You have to have SMART goals in place, and you have to take baby steps because Rome was not built in a day, and however long you've been a certain way, it takes time.
It does. It does.
So I agree with you 100% on that. So my next question is there a situation that you experience that drives your passion in helping women not to sacrifice their health and happiness?
Yes. Well, my passion really became because I had my business is really me, and that's why it's so near and dear to me because I was a 6-figure woman and making the money and being out there, and it made me sick. The stress made me sick. I was in a male-dominant business, and I had to deal with different things with being in a male-dominant industry. And I was working like 24 hours. I was on call 24 hours, high stress, losing time from my daughter. And, and she's my only child, so I was still like a new mom. And I just realized that, the stress can kill you, because as you know, stress is a silent killer. And it's not worth it. We as professional women, and I'm going to say all women, because I look at, all women, we're all at the top of our game, whatever business or whatever you choose to do, stay-at-home mom, executive, wherever, we're all at the top of our game. And we should not have to be wealthy. We should not have to sacrifice our health. We should not have to sacrifice our happiness. And so that's why I am so passionate about helping women. I have a lot of friends that are in key positions, and we talk all the time. And, I help them with different things that they can do to make their life better and be more in balance. So it was just me being out in the industry. I've worked in the government industry and the educational industry, and being in high-level positions and seeing how if you don't put yourself first and make sure that you're well, that you won't be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yes, I can agree with that. I was in a similar situation. I do IT, so needless to say, I was in a situation where I was on call, waking up 2 o'clock in the morning, working weekends, and after I sat down and I figured out the money versus the time and the hours, it just didn't add up.
Right.
So I walked away from it, and after I walked away, it took me about 2 or 3 months to even sleep all night because I was so used to being, getting woke up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Something died and I had to log in and fix stuff. So I definitely, after a while, I felt like the company owned me and I didn't have a life.
It's all about living. It's all about living in harmony. That's what I say. We can have high power harmony, high power happiness, high power health, and that's just living your life to the fullest, to the best of your ability, and not allowing, or like you just said, your company to own you, and just really trying to keep things in balance. I feel that's very important, because if you don't do that, it's only but so much that your body is going to take, and something will happen. And so we as women really have to really be mindful of our health and just really listening to our bodies and giving ourselves permission to rest and not be, a multitasker. I used to remember how I was like, I can multitask, which I still can do, but I'm very mindful of how I do it. It's like, because multitasking all the time can make you sick. So we have to give ourselves permission to have fun, to have self-care, to rest, and sleep is very important. I was listening to you talking about sleep because I was 24 hours too. Sleep is very important, to get that proper sleep, and because sleeping, if you don't get proper sleep, that causes weight gain and hormone imbalances, and the list goes on and on with sleep. So I can go on with sleep, but that's one of my big. That's one of my big things. My friends know, do not call me past 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I'm in bed.
That's usually my time as well, 10 o'clock.
So.
And it's like at first, when I first started to, take me time, you feel kind of guilty about it. You feel like you're supposed to be doing something when you first start to do it, and then after a while, you look forward to it.
Exactly. And, and I'm not, by no means I'm not perfect. This is something, like I tell, this is intentional living. I mean, I really try to live intentionally, and really think of what I'm doing. And sometimes I have to stop and say, wait a minute, Quay, you're going. You need to rest. Because like you said, I'm the same way. It's like if I'm not doing what I think I should be doing, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I'm not getting this done. But your body could be saying, I'm tired, or you could feel you getting sick. You need to listen to your body.
Right.
And everyone's body is different. Everyone's body is different. So what works for me doesn't work for you, or, or the next person.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So tell us the name of your company And how people can get in touch with you.
The name of my company is QUR Body Lifestyle. And they can get in touch with me as far as on my website, QURBodyLifestyle.com, or I'm on Instagram at Body by Quay, Facebook, Quay Holland, or my email, Quay, QUAY, at QURBodyLifestyle.com.
Okay. Wow, this has been, another conversation that kind of keeps in the forefront that you need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
You really do. And I know it's difficult because I run a pretty tight schedule myself, but I try to make sure, like, I'm in bed by 10, things like that. I take little power breaks throughout the day, even if it's no more than about 20 minutes of just getting away mentally from what I'm doing.
Right. And I just want to stress that, for women not to I call it silently suffer. We don't need to silently suffer with the things, like I said, like migraines and brain fog, weight gain, low libido, all of those things. All these things you can change all these things, and you will be surprised by lifestyle, by nutrition, exercise, all these things. When you put them all together, you can come out on top and have optimal. You just need to know what to do.
Quay, in your work, do you encourage meditation or quiet time?
Yes. One of my biggest mentors is Deepak Chopra. And he is the meditation guru. I love Deepak. So yes, I do myself personally meditate. I also encourage people to do yoga, Pilates, a lot of different mind, body, even breathing. We don't even breathe well.
Correct.
You'll be surprised. Yeah. We don't even breathe well. And just by taking deep diaphragmatic breaths, and you will be surprised how it will help with your stress level. Mm-hmm. Because you have to think that you may not think your body knows your stress, but your cells do know your stress. Your cells and brain talk. So you may not think you're stressed, but your body can tell you're stressed. And you can be going in a fight or flight mode, and you don't even realize it.
Could you talk a little bit about that fight and flight mode, which, like, where are most people with that? Most women. Where are they with that?
Most women, I'm going to say we are mostly in the fight mode, because we're always. I mean, I always tell people I wear multiple hats. We all do. We all wear multiple hats throughout the day. You figure we are a mother, we are a sister, we are a daughter, we are executive. We are so many different hats, and we're constantly changing those hats throughout the day. When do you take time to pause? Yeah. Do you take time to pause? And so I know, like I said, this is something that where I am today is not where I were years ago. This has been a journey because of my lifestyle through the years and going through different things. I was married for 27 years and now divorced, and that was just a huge, so with that, and then very stressful job and being a mother and taking care of people, I had to learn I needed to take care of myself. So this has been a journey for me through prayer, meditation, exercise, eating food that serves my body well, and self-care. So this is, like I said, so this is a lifestyle. This is, so that's why I said you have to be patient with yourself. And so you want to pause, because if you don't pause, your body can always feel like it's in that fight or flight mode, which then raises your cortisol, which now that's going into hormones, raises your cortisol levels, and that just brings on a whole lot of other things.
Yeah, a lot of diseases caused by the stress that we put ourselves under continuously.
Correct.
For years, we don't even recognize it until someone like yourself sits down with us and helps us to start analyzing what's been going on. And then we begin to see patterns that we've accumulated over the years. And usually they're stress patterns.
Exactly.
And we've learned how to live with it, but our bodies are taking a beating. Our bodies and our spirits have taken a beating in the meantime.
Exactly. And that's what I do. I sit down with my clients, and I get to the root cause of what it is. It's a deep dive of what it is. I go all the way back to your childhood, and so the consultation is a lengthy consultation, because I need to see different things and where you were in different times in your life, and what could be causing you to be where you are today. And like you just said, like for me, stress is what caused me to have the autoimmune disorder, Candida. And with having the Candida, I had the weight gain and the yeast infections. So, but there's other women that could be dealing with Candida. Can also bring on fibromyalgia.
Yes, yeah.
And so the joint pain. So being a trainer, I was in a facility where we had what's so funny about this, I was training women because the owner was a nutritionist, and in there I became a wellness consultant, and I was one of the boot camp instructors. And you could not go through our training unless you had our wellness lifestyle consultation. And that's how we were able, and we were so successful in helping hundreds of women lose weight and keep it off, because we were getting to the root cause. We were finding out what is triggering you having these issues, and then we were realizing that so many women were having Candida, and as well as fibromyalgia. And with fibromyalgia, I had to train women differently if they had fibromyalgia, because they're hurting. So exercise is good for you, but there was a certain way that I had to train them having that condition. So that was really being in California. This is where I had my own business in California. That's where I really got more and more into the wellness and autoimmune disorders. And then beknownst to me, I end up getting Candida because I was under a lot of stress myself, personally.
So, in other words, if a woman kind of like recognizes that she's under a lot of stress, woman or men, recognize that they're under a lot of stress, Candida is something that they need to look out for. If they see all these other things happening, like they're gaining weight, they're not sleeping well, all those other things, their food is, their eating is messed up. That's very interesting. That's an important piece.
Yes,
it is. Constant stress, you need to look out, because something else is going on. It's not just the stress. And so many of us go around saying, oh, I'm just so stressed out. If we're saying that, then we need to look out, because something else is either going on or getting ready to happen. Am I right?
Right, because you're compromising your immune system, and your immune system is, mostly in the gut. So that's why I always tell people, you listen to your gut, and that's literally because your gut will tell you a lot. Like a lot of people, I always ask, okay, how was your bowel movement? And they're like, really? Yes, because you will be surprised. Your bowel movement tells you a lot. So there's so much to being healthy. It is. It's so much to being healthy, and I've helped men as well. I've helped men, men that want it, and this is when I say strong men, because a lot of men don't want to admit that something's going on. They don't want to admit to that. And yes, and most of the time it's their wife. It was their wife bringing them to me saying, you need to help him because I keep telling him he has candida. That's how I got to work with several men. Like I helped several California highway police pass their exam, their fitness exam, because, their weight exam and their fitness exam, because they were in my boot camps and they were also on my programs with candida.
Wow. Can you just share, I don't know if you have one, but I can imagine that for a lot of people who go through your program, as you do the paperwork with them and continue to work with them, sometimes some of them must have had some really wonderful aha moments. Is there any one that completely stands out in your mind?
Let me think. Aha moment. Well, one of my clients always had a cough. She always had a cough, and I would notice it. When we would train, I would notice she always had a cough. And, I would be like, drink some water. And then I was like, you really need, because she was just for me, because some clients that I have, they don't want to do a lifestyle, but this was when I started early on. I used to I would have fitness, and then I would do lifestyle. Now it's like, if you want to work with me, you got to do it all, because it's not a separate thing. It's a holistic, it's the whole body. So I don't separate. If they don't want to do the exercise with me, which is fine, but if they want just lifestyle, I'll do just lifestyle. But if they just want fitness, I won't just do fitness, because I can't just talk about fitness. I have to talk about everything. Because fitness and nutrition is like a marriage. You can't have one without the other. And so she used to have this tickle. She used to always cough. And so I said, you really should let me do an assessment with you, and we go through. I said, because I really believe you have, a yeast imbalance, and it's in your throat. And she was like, what do you mean? And so I educated her on that. And sure enough, when she did the screening and everything, her numbers were high, and she did some of my protocols. And now when we train, I don't hear her cough anymore.
Wow. Wow. So where are you located?
Yes.
I am in Glen Burnie, Maryland. Okay. And so I am actually I'm a mobile trainer. So some people come to me at where I work at my community center, or I'll go to them. As far as lifestyle, I have clients that I help via FaceTime or one-on-one. So I do a lot of different ways that I can help people. I don't have to be right there with them, by telephone, email.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. So the wave of business now.
Yeah.
It makes everybody global because of the different communication methods we have today.
Because I still help. Sometimes I get questions, or some of my old clients in California will email me or text me, that they need my help, with some, like they may have reverted back or they're on a new journey of something and can I help them?
Mhm. Okay. So one more time, how can our audience connect with you?
They can connect with me on Instagram at Body by Quay, or they can go on my website, QURBodyLifestyle.com, Facebook, Quay Holland, or they can even call me at 202-999-2179.
Okay. In your bio, I saw that you were in Japan for a while. What was that like?
I love Japan. I was there because my husband at the time was in the military, and I worked for the government, so that was really nice being there. My daughter is born in Japan, so I have a lot of great memories living in Japan, but that is where I became certified with the American Council on Exercise as a personal trainer. And my specialty was I was a spin instructor. I taught class at 5 o'clock in the morning, and my class was packed with military personnel from all armed forces and government employees, and I was known as the trainer that was going to whip the military back in shape. So I had a lot of overweight military personnel in my class. So I enjoyed it. I loved it a lot. And being there, I, built a lot of great friendships, and also was able to be the captain on the Dragon Boat team, the Navy Dragon Boat team, for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So lots of great memories of Okinawa.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. So who are your clients now?
Currently, I have clients who have their own personal business. I have clients that for the Department of Education, and I also have clients that work in the health industry. Out in California, I had the Saboba Indians, so I had a large tribe out there, and also 2 school districts. And also I have, now I also have some Department of DOD personnel.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you worked with, did you name the tribe that you worked with?
Yes, they were Saboba Indians. They're out in California.
Okay. What was that like? What was their spin on health and nutrition and fitness?
That's funny you asked that. The great thing about them, they all became my family. I trained them for 5 years. I had a contract with them, and they all wanted to be healthy. They were overweight, but but healthy. A lot of them didn't have diabetes. Some did. They enjoyed working out. We built a great relationship, and they were very positive, happy, family-oriented community. It was a blessing for me. I truly enjoyed working out there with them, and like I said, they have become my family. We still keep in contact to this day.
That's wonderful. Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. You've had a fascinating life.
Yes, I've been. God has blessed me. I've traveled all over the world and been able to train people in Japan, Africa, Israel. I've just, I've had a very rich life.
Well, that's awesome. So that means that you're living in your passion, because God has made sure that you're able to serve everywhere.
Yes.
So that's
and that's what I want to do. I want to make an impact and help women to have that high power health harmony and happiness without sacrificing their well-being.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I am so grateful that you shared this information with our listeners. I'm definitely looking forward to doing more conversations with you in the future, because this is very important. It's one of those things that we have to keep hearing.
I agree.
Quickly. We forget. We put it on the back burner. We walk away from it. There's always something or someone more important than taking care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Especially for women, because we're nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We will put ourselves on the back burner in a second.
Mm-hmm.
You're
yes.
right.
But before we wrap up, can you just share your information one more time so that people can connect with you?
Okay. My name is Quay Holland, Quay, Holland like the country. You can contact me at 202-999-2179 or my website, QURBodyLifestyle.com, or on Instagram at Body by Quay, Facebook, Quay Holland.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Quay. Thank you.
Thank you. I thank you so much for the opportunity. I really enjoyed the interview, and I hope that I was able to help someone out there who's listening. And like I said, my passion is just to help women to be well, because your health is your wealth, and we don't have to sacrifice our well-being or suffer in silence. If we're going through anything, it can be, you can find the answers. You just have to be mindful and just take control of your life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and we can't thank you enough, because this is so important.
This show is brought to you by the amazing women of a Sister Circle Empowerment Network, ASCEN LLC, where we are never in competition, but always in collaboration, and our valued sponsors. Learn more about our sponsors and their services and membership in a Sister Circle, ASCEN LLC, at www.asistercircle.org. To learn about becoming a sponsor for Just Minding My Business Radio and how our marketing package benefits your company, please visit our website at www.asistercircle.org. Voiceovers by RCH VoiceWorks. Contact slvoiceworks8201@yahoo.com or call 443-620-4115.
Thank you for tuning in to Just Minding My Business Radio. I'm your host, Ida Crawford. We hope you enjoyed the show and appreciate you stopping by. Many blessings to you and yours.